you talked about motherhood and you talked about the values of instilling that you can do it versus like the opposite side of things. I'm curious, what are the lessons that you want to impart into your son?
Oh man, I mean, I've only just begun. I feel like I've been on this mom journey for like ever. It feels like a long time, but I'm only 4.5 years in, so I'm just really starting to. I'm really getting into parenting now.
Mm.
When you have a baby, like pregnancy and having a newborn, that is like glorified babysitting. That is, your job is to make sure that they don't die. Feed them, change them, make sure they
That's
don't.
very direct.
That's
To the point.
that's pretty much the
Period.
pretty much the bottom line. Feed them, make sure they don't die, and also, I mean, of course, you want to nurture. Like, I really believe that my son is such a happy kid now because my mom was around for him like pretty much every day when he was a baby, and just really like giving him real nurturing and love. He didn't go to a daycare at 6 weeks where there's people who don't really know him and care about him every single day that was taking care of him. So I really do believe that. But still, even with her giving him that love and just watching him, she was still just glorified babysitting. Now he's 4, he can talk, he can walk, we are now getting into parenting. The school he goes to has to matter. The kids that he hangs around with matters now. The things that he does at the park, who is watching him. Those things are real choices about his life have to be made now. Not just, did I get him diapers? Did he have a bottle today? Those are just the basics. And so there are so many things that I, want for him and want him to have. But there are so many things that I really feel like being a parent is truly a big test of faith, because I prayed for him to be this certain ways and have certain things in him, and many of the prayers that I prayed when he was still in the womb had came to fruition. I'm just like, wow, God, that's crazy. But so many things were just like, oh my God, how could this happen, Lord? I never even saw this coming, and it just really it was being his parent is just a constant reminder that I'm not in control here. I'm not in control here. I was giving him. I'm borrowing him from God. That's it. And it's just my job to try to do the best that I can with him. But he's not mine.
That's beautiful.
That's all I can really embrace. And so even with my son, he to the point of, what lessons do you want to teach, and to the point of, I'm not in control here. He was born without all 10 fingers. I have no control over that. Can't go back and fix it. There's no procedure I can do to give him that finger. It's just gonna be that way. He's gonna be like that for the rest of his life. But what I can do as his guardian, as the person that was blessed to be able to watch over him on this earth, is teach him, you can do anything. This does not stop you from doing anything that you want to do. And in many ways, he's taught me that. There are other things that he struggled with or whatever, and, those things are like a thing of the past now, and he constantly shows me I can do anything. Those prayers that you're praying are working. So I just try to do the best that I can within my control, and I literally try not to lose sleep over worrying about things that are not.
Yeah. Damn. That's beautiful. I'm very interested about your vision for his possibilities, like his opportunities. And because I don't want to say, as a parent, you'd want him to be in a specific career or to do something specific in their life. I remember listening to something that Will Smith said, and disregard however you feel about Will Smith.
Well, I love him, so I'm so sorry. Unless there's some kind of recent news that I don't know about. But
no, this is not recent, and it's not negative. It's actually positive. But pretty much he pretty much said that his most demanding yet rewarding relationship was the relationship that he had with his daughter Willow. And he said he realized that when you plant a seed, your job, as you're saying, is to water that seed, and you can't demand that seed to grow to be the plant that you want it to grow to. It's something ingrained within itself that it's going to become the plant that it was supposed to become.
Absolutely.
And so your only job is to just water that plant and let it become who and what it is meant to become. So when you said all of that, like that's exactly what it reminded me of.
No, that's such a beautiful analogy because I think that it's very true. And again, I'm so new into the parenting thing. Like I could be saying this and then watch this 4 years from now, and I'm like trying to, have a whole different perspective where I'm trying to control things in my son's life. And I'm like, girl, what happened to relaxing?
Yeah.
So but I just pray that I keep, this mentality. And I really, like I said, I don't know how I could be a parent or be the parent that parent that I'm proud of, at least without having my faith, because it's truly way too much in parenthood that's out of your control. So if you obsess over trying to control it all, you'll go nuts. It's just not possible. You have to chalk it up to the fact that somebody else is pulling the strings. You're just asking for permission. Again, like I said, every time. But, he is his own, individual. I don't ever want to put anything on him. I always want to, the only things that I want to put into him is being a respectable, good person. Being a person that, raising him up to be a child of God, raising him up to be somebody who is, thoughtful, who is a productive member of society. Those things I'm not going to waver on. I will fight until I'm done trying to put that into him, if that's what it ever took. But what he wants to do, as far as if he wants to be in communications, if he wants to be a reporter, if he wants to be an athlete, if he wants to be an astronaut, which is what he thinks he wants to be now, whatever it is.
That is hilarious. Yeah. My nephew actually wants to be a pilot right now.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, we're going to write this down at 4. Let's see what happens at 14. Right. But if you want to still be an astronaut at 14, it's fine. Right. They're just like, this is something that, this is one of those things that is like, oh, it's a cliche, but it's not. But it's extremely true. And it's also something that you will never, ever, ever, ever really get. Like I was talking to you offline about the difference between empathy and sympathy. You'll never really get this until you actually become a parent. But there truly is no handbook. Like I know you've heard that before. Everybody's heard that. Oh, there's no handbook to this parenting thing. But you don't get what they mean until you're doing it. And you're like, who's going to help me? Well, how do I look? Oh my gosh, nobody knows. I can't look this up. No, you can't look it up. You just have to go with whatever it feels like and keep adjusting. On the job training.